everyone, Garm here, and welcome to Ranked Struggle. Today on the menu is Champion Select, a highly undervalued aspect of League that most of the times can be the decisive factor between victory or defeat. Before I begin going to detail, don't forget that you queued up for 2 lanes, and assuming that you didn't pick Fill on any of the 2 options, then sometimes you'll be auto-filled into a position, and we all know how much the community loves this function. Anyways, you'll be forced to play a lane that you don't fancy, and you can either ask for your preferred lane back, or you can just play the autofill. And while I've lost a lot of autofill games that could have been solved just by me going on my usual lane, I'll admit it, I've also lost quite a few where I asked for my preferred lane. And this was mainly due to the guy I traded with not knowing how to play the position I got autofilled in. But I digress. In the end, it doesn't matter as the game will go however it needs to go, be that a victory or a defeat. However, just remember, do your best at all times. Communication is key, and where does it all begin? Your first encounter with communication is through the pre-ban, ban, and pick phases. If you're sure you're going with a certain champion, be sure to declare him so no one bans him. Unless you're facing a troll, then most of the times it makes no sense for someone to ban your predefined pick. That is, unless you're faced with a rare scenario, where you want to pick a popular champion with a high ban rate. Let's say Zed, or even Yasuo, and your last pick. Now, unless you ask for a trade from the first pick, which I do not advise unless you're a one-trick pony, since you'll just get hard countered by either one champion or even an entire team comp, then it makes more sense to ban that champion and prevent the other team from using him. On the ban phase, you want to ban current popular picks that you don't want to play against. Let's say you have an 80% win rate with Zed, and I'm being generous here. But when Lulu is present in the enemy team, then it drops to 20%. It's probably a good idea to ban Lulu, be it for you or your team's sake. Moving onwards to the pick phase, you're met with a situation that is highly influenced by your picking position. If you're last pick, you'll want to pick something that complements your team composition. Try to look for the obvious questions. Do we have any tanks? How are you doing on AP and AD? Is the team full AD so far and has no tanks? Or perhaps it has 3 tanky AP champions? Try to fit in that missing puzzle piece that will turn your team into a great one. The Malphite pick that will turn your 0-20 Yasuo into a 20-0 Yasuo. Alright, let's not get ahead of ourselves, but you get the point. Contrary to popular belief, counters aren't always what you should go for, and this gains more and more truth as you rank up, especially at Challenger of course. Even the highest win rate counter picks are summed up to simple balanced matchups at higher elos. However, I'll admit it, at low elo counter picks are highly effective, so if you have the chance to pick Renekton against Riven at lower elos, then be sure to snatch it. Now, assuming that your first pick, then you either want to 1. Pick your best champion, 2. Pick first for someone else so you can trade afterwards, or 3. You can go for a popular high win rate pick at the moment. I don't advise this last one however, as it isn't a champion having 57%, actually 57% win rate that guarantees you a W, especially if you have little to none experience with him. As for the let's call them in-between picks, it ends up not mattering too much, or not as much as the first and last pick. Don't forget that on one side the first pick is composed by 2 members, and that on the other side the last pick is composed by 2 members as well. This meaning that the middle picks are left to 2 individuals. You can either opt to complement what's been chosen thus far, or to go with your best pick. And with that, we've pretty much covered all of Champion Select, and while it will most likely forever remain a big aspect to take in consideration on League, don't let a bad comp get to you. After all, champions aren't just soulless beings, they have players and personalities behind them. And more than anything, it is you, and only you, that can make a difference towards the endgame result. That was all for today's episode, hope you enjoyed it. Be sure not to miss the next time around, where we'll be discussing in-game communication. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, see you on the Rift.